Net Talk in 1996 as a late-night weekend radio program, teaching listeners how to use the new thing called the Internet. It was the first talk program about the Internet and computing. The show was an innovative hybrid, utilizing many techniques of shock radio, talk radio and the risky nature of late-night TV, to make a topic at the time, as boring as computers, fun to learn about. The programming was so successful that it became a dual cast, whereby you could listen to the show still as a radio program, but you could watch it on TV as well. The program was the first completely racially diverse cast, with members representing all the faces of America. The cast members knew each other so well and the fans loved the way the cast members always pranked and picked on each other. Fans could relate to the cast. The show, now called NetTalkLIVE, became a huge ratings hit all across the nation. You could listen on radio, watch on TV and stream over the Internet, live, at the same time. Making it the world's first live triplecast. The program became the longest-running independent episodic TV show in self-syndication history, but it also became known for many firsts in broadcasting. NetTalkLIVE was the first fully inclusive and racially diverse TV cast in history. All viewer segments were represented, including LGBT, Native Americans, Latins, African Americans, Asian Americans, senior citizens and immigrant cast members. When you watch this broadcast, it will allow you to look back in technology history and to be thankful for how far the technology of today has come.
Hey, I'm Steve Harvey. This is Steve Harvey from the Steve Harvey Show, and whenever I get a chance to watch Net Talk Live, I always do, and so should you.
Hey, Netheads, here's what you can learn in this Net Talk Live, the Internet Talk Show. We'll tell you where you can find Windows 95 tutorials online. We'll show you how to email medical questions to real doctors and get back real answers online. We'll even tell you about modems that are so fast they're now against the law. And if you love a good laugh at the expense of others' stupidity, we'll take you to a great website about the world's dumbest criminals with stories like there were two men that tried to pull the front off a cash machine by running a chain from the machine to their bumper, and to make a long story short, it pulled off their bumper and they got caught because their license plates was still attached. Now that's dumb. We'll also take you to a whacked out website where you can play celebrity death skiing, see how Howard Stern, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Calista Flockhart fare. We'll even teach you about sports teams online, the difference between Celeron and Pentium processors, how to scan old type documents into your PC, and what happens when cyber sex goes bad. And we have a funny internet download that puts a visual image to the old saying, "It's not my job," so sit back and get ready. It's time to get started.
Live from our studio in Dallas, Texas, broadcast to 100 countries worldwide. It's the world's first live interactive triplecast. It's Net Talk Live. Watch on television, listen on radio on the Talk Radio Network, or listen or watch via your computer worldwide on the broadcast network on the internet, broadcast.com. With your co-host, Laura Lewis. Gadget guy, Dave Matthews. Webhead Luis Vallecillo. And your host, Jovan. So boot up your computer, press record on your VCR, call a friend, and get ready to learn about the Internet and World Wide Web. It's Net Talk Live. Net Talk Live's broadcast is made possible by DigitalConvergence.com, engineering your digital future. Microsoft, developers of the Internet's smartest web browser, Internet Explorer. It's time to begin the fun and excitement, learning about the Internet and the World Wide Web. It's Net Talk Live.
Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Net Talk Live, where we're teaching you everything you need to know about the Internet and the World Wide Web. Now, if you're at home, just fire up your computer and go to NetTalkLive.com. That's where you're going to find every website that we're talking about. You'll even find written versions of the answers that we're giving on this broadcast. So, Dave, are you ready?
I am, because I just realized that our floor director has more energy than Richard Simmons. You're exactly right. Jeff sure does. Luis, you ready?
I'm ready to go.
All right, Georgia, how are we going to get started?
Let's get started with an email. This first email comes from Tim Austin from Dallas, Texas, and Tim writes, do you know of any websites I can go to and download Windows 95 for tutorial purposes? And I heard you can email medical questions to real doctors on the web, and they'll actually answer back. Do you know of any websites like that?
Two good questions, tutorial purposes. So it kind of walks you through step by step, teaches you what to do, know how to do it, etc. That's a tutorial. I'll answer the second half. But first, Dave, answer the first half.
I wonder if maybe he's calling tutorial like a way to get Windows for free. Maybe.
That's what I was
so
thinking
he can,
of that question.
Yeah, there's two ways to do this. If you go to the Microsoft Developer Network, you can actually buy a subscription where they'll send you everything you want. All the Windows 95, Windows NT, Windows 2000, you name it, you can get it from the Developer Network. And this is what lets people develop software or write code for these applications. So check that out. Also, if you go to Yahoo, if you want to do training, or even broadcast.com, you can do a search for computer training, and it'll use real audio, real video to train you while you use your existing computer over your net connection. So there's two possible answers for you, but don't try and get free software from the
Then why
net.
should I pay for it if I can just do that? Why should I pay for it?
I tell you what, that sounds like a great hint to me of how to go get free software if you can qualify for it and get it from Microsoft. Why not do it?
Well,
Provide them some good information back. I think it's a good one. Let me answer the second half of it. Want to know about getting medical answers online? Where can you write a real doctor, not an internet doctor, but a real doctor that can reply to you? Let me show you one of many sites. This one is Ask Dr. Weil. You've heard about him, Andrew Weil. He's got best-selling books. You can go here. You can actually drop an email, and if he doesn't, his staff will answer you back. It's a good way to get medical help online. Simple form to fill it out. It is not necessarily dispensing medical advice, but pointing you in the right direction, and you should still ask your own personal physician.
I absolutely love that because I have a 2-year-old who's always sick, and I've used that before. I love that. I think
it's good. You know, you filled it out. You filled out the form, got an email back. It said bathe them and feed them, and it solved all of your
I
problems.
started using it. I mean, it's great.
It was easy to do. Let's take our first call. Let's go to Michelle in Spartanburg, North Carolina.
Hey, Michelle, welcome to the show. What's your question?
I just want to let you guys know I love your show. It's so informative. It's really helped me out on a lot of my computer questions.
Thank you very
I have
much.
another question. I was wondering, what is an ASF file?
Everybody gets confused about these acronyms.
Yeah, because why can't it just be called whatever it is?
I think one of the best names on the internet has come up with Cookie, because it doesn't mean anything, but at least you can remember what it is. ASF file. Luis, decipher once again.
Georgia, you know what it's called? It's called ASF. That's the name. ASF stands for Advanced Streaming Format, and it's done by Microsoft. Everybody knows real, like it's .ra or .ram. That means it's a real audio file. Well, there's another streaming format done by Microsoft called ASF, and it's basically another format of video. You can watch video over the net. We have at NetTalkLIVE.com ASF files, and we also have real audio files. We have Move, which is movie files, which is QuickTime. There's a lot of formats out there. Hopefully someday they'll all converge into one. There'll only be one format with one application, no confusion.
Best way,
that's a lot to hope for.
I'll give you a good site. It's whatis.com. Just go to whatis.com. I'll link it up. You look at the acronym. It'll give you the definition, give you a real quick one what it is. It's a good way just to learn what the acronyms are. Now, Georgia, I know you set out in your next site, you were searching for some of your past boyfriends. Tell me about this site.
It's called dumbcriminals.com. You heard of dumblaws.com. Well, this is dumbcriminals.com. It is some of the craziest stories that you've ever heard. Like, listen to this, Jovan. Kentucky, these two guys try to pull off, like, the front of a cash machine, and they actually don't pull off the top. They pull out their bumper, they attach it to their truck. And with this long chain, they attach that to the cash machine. Well, they accidentally pull out their bumper, so they get out of Dodge, but they leave their bumper behind with their license tag on it. So, of course, they're in jail. How about this? Let me tell you one more story. This guy in South Carolina goes to the police station, drops off a bag of cocaine, and goes, "This is substandard cut. I was cheated," and do something about it. Of course, he was put in jail right then. Can you imagine going to the police and going, "Hey, this was wrong cut. I don't like the way they did this"?
There's some of the great stories. I've seen this site before. It's really cool. If you want to get a humor out of police stories, there's one where a fellow husband and wife team were robbing vending machines.
Okay.
And they arrested the boyfriend and put him in jail. He swore he didn't do it, so they posted bond, and his girlfriend showed up to pay his $2,000 bond in quarters.
Oh.
So they arrested her too. They were robbing.
Are you telling the truth?
I'm absolutely telling the truth. They were robbing vending machines.
That's crazy.
You got to read some of these stories. They're absolutely fantastic. You'll get a kick out of it. Anyway, hang tight. Call a friend. Tell them to tune in. We're going to be right back right after this. Mr. Pink, take us away. Stay tuned. Here's what's coming up next on Net Talk Live. Do you know what a sail possum is? That's a possum that has been flattened totally in the road, run over about 300 or 400 times, dried out, and you can pick it up like a frisbee and sail it across the field.
If there was ever a need for an instruction booklet, it's when you're having a baby. And hey, let's face it, some of us can't rely solely on our nurturing instinct. Well, too bad. Babies don't come with manuals, but at least we have more access to information thanks to the internet. That's where the Baby Center comes in. This site has something to offer everyone, including clueless dads, and those of you who are already thinking about what you'll name your kids 10 years from now. You can even find out what different names mean. Let's see here. Georgia is female for George, which means farmer. Okay, so maybe they don't always match too well. If you just want some ideas for naming your little tyke, take a look at the 100 most popular names from last year. This is my favorite part. Hey, look at that. Luis is number 45. Way to go, Luis. And check this out. This could be a mom or dad-to-be's best friend, before, during, and after pregnancy. It's your own personal page. Just register, it's free, and you enter in the stage of pregnancy that you're currently in. Then, every week, your page will automatically be updated and changed to tell you all about the stage you and your baby are currently in. This is a perfect tool for first-time parents who want to know how their baby is changing each week. Plus, there's some great tips on how to handle your newborn those first few crucial weeks. I'm telling you, that baby namer alone was enough to keep me online for hours. I think I looked up every single one of my friends' names just to see what they meant. So hurry up and get on the web. Go to www.nettalklive.com. Just click on the PBS icon. It'll lead you to my review of this site and the Baby Center web address. It also has some other great family sites I recommend. I'm Amy Whitaker, and this has been a Net Talk Live Family Report.
Hey, now it's time for more of the Internet's funniest downloads. This one was sent to us from Wally Canton of Flagstaff, Arizona. You know, it's always nice to get an award for outstanding work, right? Especially if it's a direct reflection of one's character. Look and see what I mean. This really puts a visual to the saying, it's not my job. To download this photo, just go to NetTalkLive.com, and if you've come across some of the Internet's funniest videos or cool downloads, why don't you email them to us at funny@NetTalkLive.com. That's funny@NetTalkLive.com, and we just may put them on the air. Welcome back to Net Talk Live. That photo is living proof. The epitome of it's not my job. Did you see what that was?
Major roadkill.
I cannot tell if that was a possum or armadillo, but it was smashed flat. That was what's called a sail possum. Do you know what a sail possum is? That's a possum that has been flattened totally in the road, run over about 300 or 400 times, dried out, and you can pick it up like a frisbee and sail it across the field. Anyway, nobody picked it up, and they painted the highway stripes right over it.
Crazy.
The epitome of it's not my job.
My favorite saying.
Can you believe that? That's horrible. Speaking of it's not my job, don't answer test or technical question. Let's go out to the field to Lisa Moore. Lisa, who do we have? What's their question?
Hey guys, I have Lindy Hadley, and he is from Dallas, Texas, and he has a question about modems. Lindy?
Hi, my question is, I know the 56K modem is the fastest allowed by law. Why are they making faster ones than that?
Sounds illegal, doesn't it?
It does, but Dave, is that really true? 56K is not the fastest allowable by law.
Actually, 56K is illegal. That's why I'm so glad Lindy asked that question. You cannot have a 56K modem. The modems are made to work at that spec, but the FCC legally requires them to turn them down to just 53K. Now, the only way you'll even get 53K is if you have the cleanest line on earth. You probably have to live right next to the telephone facility in your neighborhood to even achieve that speed. But the faster modems that are coming out are not modems at all. They're digital routers, or they're digital devices which can operate faster. I don't want to say never, because in this industry you can never say never, but it looks to be that 53K will be the fastest analog modem, which is the standard modem that you'd use in your house.
So there you go. If you have a 56K modem, do me a favor, send your email, and we'll feature you next week on America's Dumbest Criminal. Didn't even know you were doing it. I never knew that.
I didn't either.
Right. You know,
so what are we usually, are we not, if we're really not at 53, what am I probably running at my house, like 45 or something?
Right. Usually 43, 33.6, 36K. It's very rare to get higher than 40 or 50K with your modem. And the reason why the FCC has limited 56K and turned that off is because when you're cranking that much voltage through a phone line, they start to bleed over. So Aunt Nellie next door hears your modem static through the phone line. Now, in a digital world, this doesn't happen, so it's a stupid law. FCC, change it.
You do not get what you pay for unless you're a celebrity and have special treatment, which takes me to the next site. You're going to like this one. It's called the Celebrity Death Slalom.
Huh?
Remember all the celebrities that have bit the big one skiing?
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is the Celebrity Death Slalom. Am I saying that right?
That is so
On this particular site, as it pulls up, I'm going to show you this particular one. You can choose between 3 celebrities. I think there's Howard Stern, Calista Flockhart of Ally McBeal, and of course, Leonardo decapitated on this particular one. Let me play Calista Flockhart. Howard Stern, when he goes by people, he passes gas. Leonardo DiCaprio, when he goes by, he loses his head. But to Calista here, keeping with her public attention, every time she goes by food, she says yuck, and every time she passes a person, she pukes. So, this is called Celebrity Death Slalom. You can actually go to our website and find the link to this one. And if you want to play a funny skiing game, no offense to the Bono family or anything like that, it is pretty funny. You need to check it out. Go to NetTalkLIve.com. You will find the link.
That's crazy.
There. Let's go back out in the field. Let's go to Lisa. Lisa, who do we have and what's their question?
I have Nidal Anaji, and he is from Amman, Jordan, and he has a quick question about emails. Amman?
Well, sometimes I receive email messages that have invalid return address. And I was wondering, how can I get back to them?
How does he return an invalid return address?
Interesting question. The fact you get an email from someone, but it doesn't say who it's from. Right. Luis, that information's always there, isn't it?
Well, actually, Jovan, it can be there, depending how well the spammer masked the headers, which is what every email has to know where to go. So the email header contains where to go and who it came from. Some people know how to mask that so well that you cannot get back to them. But most likely what they've done is they put a return address that is just totally invalid. If you want to get down and dirty, I'm going to give you a website on my hot sites that teaches you step by step how to find out and how to backtrack to where it came from. So maybe you can send an email to the ISP he's using, and hopefully you can catch him and get him out of there so he doesn't spam anymore.
Really interesting, Georgia. I got a piece of email, want to know where it came from. They hid it. We tracked it all the way back to the person by knowing how to look at their header. And they thought they were being smart. Anyway, hang tight. We got more coming up. We'll be right back right after this.
Travel my way, take that highway, it's the best. I get your kicks on Route 66.
Here's what's coming up next on NetTalk Live.
Really? You told the truth.
I told the truth, and
you scored a 25.
Yes.
There you go, folks. If you want to remove 10 years from your age,
kicks on Route 66.
Hey NetHeads, Jovan here, and I'm going to teach you how to use the NetTalk Live website. First thing to remember is that everything we talk about during the broadcast is linked directly to our website at NetTalkLIve.com. So now let's take a quick tour of NetTalkLIve.com. First of all, you'll need to remember to find something. All you have to do is remember the person who covered it or who presented the item. It's really that easy. All you do is click on their face. Yes, it sounds funny, but click on their face of the person who did the feature, and you will be transported to their portion of our website. Now, on each cast member's page, you will find their articles for the show you are watching, their hot sites, an email link for them, and individual information on the cast member and their background. Also, don't forget at the bottom of each cast member's page, there's an archive. If you click on the archive link, you will find over 2 years' worth of hot sites, product reviews, how-tos, and articles. Now, there are 3 other key features within NetTalkLIVE.com you need to be aware of. One is ask your question on the air. If you click on this icon and ask a question, we may put your question on national TV. Next, find the Get All the Answers from the Show link. There you'll find all the email, field, and call-in questions we take during each broadcast with links and how-to instructions in the form we actually answered them on the show. And finally, there are 2 ways to tell your friends and family about NetTalk Live. First, by clicking on the on-air icon at the top of the page, they can find where NetTalk Live broadcasts in their area. Or next, you can send any page, story, hot site to any family, friend, or anybody who just wants to know about the show by clicking on the email this page to a friend icon, and that's on every page within the website. And finally, don't forget we're always giving away cool software and computers, and to find out what's been given away each week, just click on the win icon within each page at NetTalkLIVE.com. Happy surfing, and now you know how to get the most out of NetTalkLIVE.com.
Welcome back, folks, to NetTalk Live, where we're trying to teach you all this stuff about the Internet and the World Wide Web. Georgia, where are you going to take us next?
I'm going to take you to an email. This one's from Andrew Blake from Hollywood, California. Andrew writes, lots of documents that need to be updated, but they were done back in the typewriter days. I really don't want to type them all over again. Is there an easier way? And I've heard about a website that helps you determine your real age by some sort of test. Do you know what that website is?
Good question on the first one. Think about it. If you weren't computer literate, haven't been using a computer for a while, you had all these old documents that were hand-typed out documents, what would you do if you want to get them digitally stored? You know, now there's a solution to it. Luis, what is the solution?
Well, Jovan, we talk about scanners so much in this show, but what we haven't said is that each scanner nowadays most likely comes with some kind of version of a OCR software, or an object character recognition software. What it does is it can read your text, your papers. So what you do is you put it through the scanner, you run the software can read the paper, and it converts it to a text file or to a Microsoft Word file. Then you can just edit the text and then go ahead and reprint it if you need it. There's 2 packages out there. One of them is TextBridge, and the other one is called OmniPage Pro, and I'm going to go ahead and link those on my hot sites for this show.
You know what? I have a piece of hardware that'll do this too. It's made by HP, and normally you have to have a scanner at the house that your computer's connected to. This is a handheld device that you can drag with you. You can take it in a magazine store, a library, you name it, and it will allow you to capture via the device without a computer, and then you can take this device and plug it into your computer later, and it doesn't even need cables. It'll even use infrared, and it just fits in the palm of my hand here. This is a neat piece of hardware to do the same capturing as well.
It's like that. It's like a hand scanner.
Hand scanner made by HP.
That's great.
Very neat little toy.
Georgia, how would you answer the second half that would guess your real age, and what does that mean?
Well, your real age is, say you're 30-something. Like, let's say you're 32, Jovan. And what it does is that you take this test like, do you have a dog? Do you wear your seatbelts every time you drive? You know, it gives you what's your cholesterol level? Do you eat fruit once a day? So on and so forth. It's like this 2-minute test, and it tells you what your real age is according to how you live. Like, my real age is 25. Yay! That's what mine was.
Are you telling the truth?
Yes,
Really?
It was 25. So it's according to what you do. And some people,
so you answer the questions, and depending on how much you lie, you get a younger age?
No, I was really 25 by telling the truth.
Really?
RealAge.com.
You told the truth.
I told the truth, and I was
you
actually
scored a
25. Yes.
There you go, folks. If you want to remove 10 years from your age.
Not 10 years. But actually, do you know if you have a dog that takes 2 years off your life?
Really?
Yes.
I guess because you're happy and
yeah, you've got to be on a
gives
schedule.
you enjoyment.
Yeah, exactly. You take your dog walking in the morning, you take your
It's
dog.
just common factors about having a good life and enjoying a life. Of course it reduces your stress, therefore you're younger. Anyway, let's take our next caller. Let's see, it's Chris in Gainesville, Texas.
Hey, Chris, welcome to the show. What's your question?
Hi, my question is, I've been hearing a lot about the Gateway Computers giving away free Internet access with the purchase of a computer with a Celeron processor. I was wanting to know if you could tell me the difference between this processor and the Cyrix or the Pentium-based processors.
Very good question. Brand names. It's just the company that makes it, right, Dave?
Well, sort of. The Celeron's a little bit different processor than the Pentium 2. The Pentium 2 had tons of memory. It was the bad boy processor. And as they tried to make cheaper computers, they weren't able to because that processor was too expensive. So they came out with a Celeron. They initially had no cache at all, and then they scaled it up. So there's a little bit of cache now. So it's a good processor.
Very good. You're going to have to check it out and stay on top of it. Of course, Dave has a lot of articles in his archives that will keep you on top of this. Hang tight. We got a little bit more coming up right after this.
Stay tuned. Here's what's coming up next on NetTalk Live.
And Georgia, your article?
Go Team Go. I'm going to talk about all online sports, and I am the sports authority.
I've been drinking from the broken cup. 2 pairs of pants, some more hair. I'm full of bourbon, I can't stay.
Hey, this is Queen Latifah now. Is Gadget Guy for real? I mean, is he for real?
From the day your child is born, the education process begins. Then the how and why questions, the first day of school, their first date, and before you know it, your baby is graduating from high school. Need some advice on how to cope with all of these education levels and changes? Then check out the Family Education Network website. What makes this site so remarkable is its consistency with daily features and educational facts. Need information on how to explain a recent tragedy to your child? This site provides parents with excellent age-appropriate explanations for topics such as school bombings or world destruction. Another great place to visit for facts relating to your child's age or grade. All you have to do is click on the appropriate icon and then ease your way through an abundance of useful information. Each page is equipped with a Toolkit guide for parents. This is where you are going to find answers to specific education questions. For expert advice, this site gives you the capability to email family therapists or pediatricians. This site is not just designed for parents. Your child will also have the advantage of learning more about current trends and events in schools around the world. The middle school webpage has an excellent advice for both parents and their teens on how to ease their way through this awkward stage and lunge ahead to a successful high school career. This site is a great place to visit for general education information about your preschool, elementary, middle school, and high school age kids. For more information on this site, simply visit the NetTalkLIve.com website and click on the PBS icon. This is where you'll find my other recommended family websites, covering all the topics that affect your family. For the Family Web Report, I'm Michelle Rose.
We're back. It's NetTalk Live, the Internet Talk Show. Now, Jovan and the gang are going to share something really cool with you. So let's get back to the show.
Welcome back, folks. Luis, what's your article?
Why did you stop it?
It was great, wasn't it?
HTML presentation, Jovan. Not everybody has a presentation package, but everybody has a browser, so I'm going to teach you how to use HTML to create presentations for work.
Very good. And Dave, your article. Well, I talk about digital documents without a PC. Now, this sounds like an oxymoron, but there's 2 handheld devices. One of them you can talk into. The other one, like this little handheld device, you can carry with you, and you can scan devices away from your computer, then import them into your PC.
And Georgia, your article?
Go Team Go. I'm going to talk about all online sports, and I am the sports authority.
That is for sure. And I wrote about when cyber sex goes bad. You're going to have to read the article to see what I am talking about, because it's very good. Anyway, folks, make it a great week. We love you. Take care. Bye-bye. Mr. Pink, take us away.
Everybody's got to sing la-di-da, whoa, now let's sing it with us. Sing, 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 sing. Everybody's got to sing la-di-da, whoa, now you're singing with us. When the music goes around, everybody goes to town. This is something you should know. Ah, baby, whoa, 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 sing, 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 sing. Everybody's got to sing.
This has been NetTalk Live. NetTalk Live is a presentation of the Talk Radio Network and Broadcast.com, the broadcast network on the Internet. NetTalk Live's broadcast is made possible by DigitalConvergence.com, engineering your digital future. Microsoft. Hairstyling provided by Salon Interpretations. This has been Net Talk Live, the world's first live interactive triple cast. Tell all your friends and coworkers about Net Talk Live, and we'll see you again next week. Net Talk Live is a presentation of the Digital Broadcasting and Communications Network.